Home. That was a thought. Home was a dirt road that wended its way through a field of oats and barley to a house at the edge of the woods. Home was my dad's rusted pickup truck, the bed of which I would lie in and stare up at the stars on warm summer nights. Home was the apple orchard behind the house, and a maze of Dad's wood carvings, trees and railroad ties whose armor had been sculpted away to reveal the spirits within: wolves, owls, wise men. Home was the spruce tree tattooed on the back of my arm, just above my elbow, the one I always kept covered when visiting Tommy's parents. Home was 3 hours north. They looked impressed, as though I'd walked the 160 miles to get here.
What brings you to Black Harbor?
The lake, I said, and explained that my husband is an aquatic ecologist. He was hired by the city 2 years ago because the lake was, and still is, devouring the shoreline. Every other day, the news chronicles people's yards precariously disappearing. All those sediments and landscaping chemicals can't be doing the aquatic ecosystem any favors. The two ladies shared a smile, and I reminded myself that they had no idea what it was like up north, where jobs are scarcer than striking oil. The man spoke again.
If you choose to accept this position, Mrs. Greenlee, everything you type must be treated with the utmost confidentiality. You can't tell your best friends, your family, even your husband.
I'm good at keeping secrets, I said.
Your social life will suffer.
Another warning. What social life? They laughed like I was being ironic. The man leaned back in his chair, arms crossed over his stomach. His tie scrunched to the side, revealing a coffee stain he'd no doubt tried to hide.
This job is violent and graphic in nature. You'll have to listen to accounts of things that are traumatic, to say the least. It's not for everyone.
Is anything? It was the first time I'd asked a question instead of answering them. He grinned, his lips peeling away from his teeth.
You're a clever one, Mrs. Greenlee.
There it was again. I'd seen it in print, like on junk mail and bills, but it wasn't often that I heard it spoken aloud. Mrs. How it makes one sound hideously domesticated, an unforgivable slaughtering of its better, more scandalous-sounding honorific, mistress. Now that was something I could get on board with. I tried to smile back while I kneaded my hands in my lap, twisting my wedding band. The cold made it so loose. I needed this job, and I actually wanted it, too. At least it was interesting, and it paid better than any of the others I'd interviewed for. As it turned out, jobs weren't exactly plentiful in these parts either. A hard truth I learned pretty quick after quitting the bookstore with nothing else lined up. Not my finest moment.
It's a shame putting you on nights.
The man chuckled.
Young kid like you'll never see the light of day again.
The ladies laughed too.
Irregardless, we could always check with the other transcriber and see if she wants to stay on the night shift. Some people like it.
My insides wilted at his use of irregardless. No, I'll take it. He leaned toward me, and I got the feeling that the confidentiality agreement had already started.
Forgive me for saying this, Mrs. Greenlee, but you're very pretty.
I looked at the women. They just stared like they had since they'd walked in.
You'll have problems here,
he promised, and then slid me the pen to sign the contract. It's too fresh to even have been filed away, and yet the memory seems from another lifetime. The reality, though, is that I've just been hired as the new police transcriber and have 2 days to put myself together, a task that shouldn't involve edging my way toward the middle of Forge Bridge. Ever since Forge Fuels closed nearly 15 years ago, resulting in practically everyone within a 50-mile radius of Black Harbor losing their jobs, there's been a localized epidemic of people jumping from the bridge, including the fuel company's former CEO. That's when Black Harbor really took a shit, as our neighbor Old Will put it. A former maintenance man for the coal giant, his hands are all jacked up from 30 years of turning wrenches. Now he eats pain pills with his bacon every morning. My discovery of the bridge had been an accident. Shortly after we moved to Black Harbor, I took to the running trail in the woods.